see what the letter Q stands for in TQLR. Let's go back to the classroom.
We shall listen to the second part of the tape. But this time around, you will have to listen even more carefully because I will ask you to form your own questions based on what you will be listening to. Is that clear? Yes, Lorena, do you have a question?
What do you mean, ma'am?
What I meant was that we will play the same text again. But this time around, you will form your own questions as you listen to it. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So we're ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
You and I are the smartest creatures on Earth. We can do what we want to do. If we decide to kill other animals for their skin, nothing can stop us. If we cut down trees and destroy our forests to create a farm or city, the decision is ours to make.
Well, class, we have written down several answers on the board. Which of these is the correct answer? Yes, Noel?
The speaker is going to talk about illegal logging.
Then who gave out the correct answer?
Tony.
Yes, Tony gave out the correct answer. Very good, Tony. Class, after listening to the text, what issues do you think will the speaker address in his talk? What do you think? Rhea, kindly share with the class your sample questions or the questions which you would like to ask the speaker.
Ma'am, maybe I could ask him the question, who destroys the environment?
I will accept that, Rhea. That's a good question. Who destroys the environment? Any other questions? Who would like to add to that? Yes, Danielle.
Ma'am, what about this question? Why do they destroy the environment?
Good question. Why do they destroy the environment? That's a good question, Danielle. Any other questions? Can I see more hands? Yes, Noel.
Ma'am, what are some of the endangered species?
Good. What are some of the endangered species?
What did you notice the teacher did after she had stopped the tape for the second time? You're right. The teacher did the following. She asked the students to form their own questions, and she wrote each elicited question on the board. Asking students to form their own questions based on what they listened to is one way to develop analytical thinking skills. The teacher encouraged the students to formulate their own questions because, first, she wanted them to think analytically about the issue. And secondly, she wanted them to identify the problem on their own by way of generating questions. Therefore, Q in TQLR stands for questions, which students generate. We saw in the classroom that the teacher wrote every question elicited from the student on the board. Why did she have to do that? Why don't we go back to the classroom and see how the lesson progresses as we find out why the teacher wrote the questions on the blackboard?
Class, let us listen to the next part of the speech. I would like to find out which of the questions which you had raised earlier will be answered in the next segment of the talk. Let me play that. There.
We cut down millions of acres of rainforests each year, mostly to create farmland for raising beef. Some of the wood is turned into lumber, but mostly they are simply burned. Because trees are natural storehouses of carbon dioxide, cutting down and burning trees release carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, which in turn contributes to global warming. Cutting down the rainforests destroys thousands of plants, animals, and insects that can help humans. Scientists estimate that between 5 million species live in rainforests. As many as 6,000 species are forever lost every year because of logging.
Let us now look at the questions on the board. Which of these questions which you had raised earlier were answered in the speech? Can I see a raise of hands? How about you? Yes,
Ma'am,
Tina?
question number 1, who destroys the environment was answered.
Yes, that's correct. Any other question that was answered? Lani?
Destroy the environment has been answered also.
Right. What about the question that wasn't answered? Yes, Lorena?
Ma'am, question number 3. What are some of the endangered species?
In what you've just seen, the teacher wrote these questions on the board so that the students would know which of them were answered in the speech they had just listened to. Remember, it is important to make the learner generate his or her own questions. This is one way of empowering him or her to think critically. There is still another reason why we encourage our students to formulate their own questions. We'll tell you about this when we return.